Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. So today we are starting a vlog and I'm going to be reading all horror books in this vlog. I know it's not fall, it's not October. I don't know why. I just always feel like reading horror in the summertime. It's like a campy slasher summer camp vibe. I always want to watch horror movies in the summer. And this week it's literally going to be thunderstorming all week. Like the entire weather report is just nasty and gross. And I just thought it would be a perfect week to get cozy and read some horror books inside while I watch the thunder and lightning out my window over here. And I'm just so hyped for this week of reading these horror books. So let me sit you down and I will let you know my TBR and tell you a little bit about the book I've already started. So I'm going to be reading 4 books total in this vlog. The first one, which I've already started, is The Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. And I will tell you a little bit more about this one in a second after I tell you my entire TBR, but spoiler, I'm absolutely loving this one. I'm also going to be reading The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. This is very much like Silent Patient vibes. It's about a psychologist who thinks that he is just hot shit and he can kind of crack the case of this mysterious patient that no one else has been able to break through to. I'm also going to be reading Brother by Anya Alborn. This follows a family of serial killers. I think it's like Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes, living for that. And the final book on my TBR for this vlog is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. And I recently read the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, and I absolutely loved that book. So I'm super looking forward to starting this one as well. But the first one that I've already started is Night of the Mannequins, and this is just a teeny tiny short novella. But I've been really interested in reading more from Stephen Graham Jones because I absolutely loved The Only Good Indians, which I read last year for Summerween. And I've been wanting to read more of his writing ever since. And I have to say, this book is not disappointing me at all. Even for such a short novella, like you start in and boom, the voice starts right away. It is so atmospheric. It's from the perspective of a high school kid. And I just love hearing that voice. The writing is phenomenal. It really feels like a teen horror movie that's playing out. And I don't want to give too much of a synopsis because I'm halfway through and I feel like, not too much has happened. And I don't want to give away too much because it is such a short book. But basically why it's called The Night of the Mannequins is because this group of friends decides to prank one of the members of their clique who works at the movie theater by setting up a mannequin in kind of like one of the movie theater seats. And it was just like a fun prank. What else are you gonna do on a summer day when your friend's working at the movie theater? Just kind of want to mess with her a little bit. Put a mannequin in the seat. So it starts out that way, but then it gets very weird and very creepy from that point on. So it's going really well. I'm really loving it. I am halfway through at this point and I've only been reading for less than an hour. So it's flying by. It's super fast paced. And again, the voice in this book and all of these characters are just so fun and so like well thought out. They feel really real and the horror elements are pretty intense. Like there's some pretty graphic and scary stuff happening so far. So I'm loving it. And I think I'm gonna get back to this book Hopefully I will be able to finish it by the end of today. This is the first week of my summer semester, so I am really busy with seeing clients and doing classes. If you don't know, I am getting my master's in mental health counseling, so I'm trying to get my license to be a professional mental health counselor, and I have probably about like 12 clients now that I see every single week. So it's taking up a lot of time, and I still have classes, so that's also taking up a lot of time. So I'm not able to read as much lately. That's why you haven't seen a vlog from me in so long. But I figured all of these books are gonna be pretty short, pretty fast paced, and this was a vlog that I could do for you guys and also have a fun little summery horror moment. So I'm gonna go ahead and go about my day, hopefully read a little bit more of The Night of the Mannequins, and I will update you when I finish it and give you my full thoughts. Okay, update. I finished Night of the Mannequins and I have no words. I did not see that coming. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give away the ending, but if you like weird, crazy, graphic horror, you will love this book for sure. If you're a fan of The Only Good Indians, you will definitely like this book. It has that signature Stephen Graham Jones writing style, which is like kind of dry and funny and like cutting to the chase in a sort of way, but it's still very like haunting and eerie. I don't know, it's like the perfect balance of like the way a teenager talks, but also like the creepiness of a really good horror book. And I love that it was from a teenager's perspective. I thought that just like enhanced the campiness of it, and I loved it. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The reason why I'm not giving it 5 stars is because I do wish it was longer. Even if it was just another like 30 pages, this book is only 130 pages. I think maybe if it was like 150, 160, we could have gotten a clearer picture of what the ending meant, because that was a little muddled for me. I'm gonna have to look up reviews to like know what I really think of the ending, but it was really good and I really enjoyed it. If you're looking for a short horror story to read for a readathon, or just a good little summer moment during a thunderstorm, or to pick up during Halloween, I think you guys would love this one. And I gotta run because I have a session right now, but I will be back soon to tell you about what I'm reading next. Hello vlog, I changed shirts because I'm done with sessions for the day, so I no longer have to appear professional with a collar, you know. We can do our little poser Harley Davidson thing. I am about to go to class. I have class in 10 minutes, but I got a little bit into just like a first few pages into Horror Store, and I just want to show you how cute this freaking book is. Please do your best to ignore Mochi squeaking his toy, but this is literally like, it's literally like an IKEA catalog. Orsk, welcome to Orsk. It's obviously IKEA, like, oh my God. Orsk yourself. Like, that is so funny. Okay, apparently the dogs do not think it's as funny as I do. Why? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Look at Mochi's shirt. Oh my God, wait. Sit, Mochi, sit. Okay, that's not sitting. He's going wild. But he has a Millennium Falcon shirt and he's literally adorable. And they are having a blast after their walk, so. Anyway, that is my update. Hopefully I will read a little bit more of Horror Store after my class. I don't know if I will update you again today. Might be tomorrow morning. I don't know. You'll find out in about 2 seconds. Hello vlog. I'm in between sessions right now, so I thought it would be a good time to update you on Horror Store. It's over there and I'm in my spot, so I'm not gonna go get it. But I am about a quarter to a third of the way through the actual story now, rather than just like looking at the cute little IKEA pictures. And I am really loving it. I love the way that Grady Hendrix' horror writing style is very funny, and it just keeps you wanting to read about these characters. All of his characters are always so quirky and just funny, and it's fun to get to know them. And I'm kind of waiting for the real horror to kick in. Right now it's just kind of like eerie, unexplainable things happening. So hopefully it will go off the rails soon, and I will update you at the 50% mark. Hey guys, so I just got to the 50% mark of Horror Store during my lunch break in between sessions. Also, for lunch, I had a sandwich on a Costco croissant. My mom recently got me and Cameron a Costco membership, and those croissants are unmatched. So go get yourself some Costco croissants if you want some joy during your lunch break. But now I will tell you about the other joy I had during my lunch break, which was reading this wonderful book. So I kind of realized I never told you guys what this is about, other than it takes place in like a fake IKEA. But basically, some of the employees stay late and they're doing like an overnight shift in the IKEA or in the Orsk/IKEA, and they're doing like final checks before corporate does like an inspection the next morning, and paranormal, weird, creepy things start happening, and they find out that this superstore was actually built on the site of an old prison. So it's like a very classic, like campy kind of horror, and I love that. It's kind of like it's poking fun at the horror genre, and it's great. Again, the characters are really fun. They all have really distinct personalities, and I love them. So I'm really enjoying this book. It has started to kind of go off the rails a little bit. There was a death? I don't know. We don't really know. Basically, this guy got possessed. So we don't know if he's dead or not, but he's definitely not himself. And that was kind of the crazy thing that happened at the halfway point, but I'm excited to see if it goes even darker, which, knowing Grady Hendrix, I'm sure that it will. There's also like really gross imagery, kind of similar to the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, where it's like rats and roaches and bodily functions and things like that. That's just like, just gross. And I usually don't like that kind of stuff, but in a horror book, something about it just like enhances the creepiness of it for me. So I'm not minding it as much. Also, just everything about the design of this book, the way that it's like, oh, it's an IKEA, and on the back it's like, oh, it was built on a prison. Like, I don't know, something about it is very satisfying. I'm loving it so far. So that is my reading update for now. I have a few more clients to see, but hopefully I'll be able to finish Horror Store today. The only thing I have going on after work is I have to go get my best friend a birthday present, and then I'm doing happy hour with Noelle from Noelle 7 Pages here on BookTube. So should be a pretty fun little evening, and I'm sure I'll show you bits and pieces in BRoll. But for now, I gotta go see more clients, so I'll see you later. Hello guys, good morning. It is the next day. Mochi, say hello. So I actually did end up finishing Horror Store last night during my impromptu live after happy hour. I was just having so much fun talking to Noelle that I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do reading sprints on my channel. I didn't tell anyone about it, gave no advance notice, but Noelle and Manda and I ended up reading for a little bit on my channel, and I finished Horror Store, and I had landed on like a 4-star rating. And then Matt at Matt the Page Turner, one of my good pals, was on the live, and he was like, "Did you read the final twist?" And I was like, what? And there were these like final pages at the end of the book that just looked like cutesy IKEA catalog pages, and I was like, okay, these are probably like the acknowledgements or whatever. So I didn't read them, finished the book, rated it, and then when Matt told me about the final twist, I went back and read those pages, and they looked like acknowledgements, but it was actually like a press release from the company saying what happened to the employees that got trapped in the building. And it was such a good twist that I had to up the rating to a 4.5 after I read that, because my biggest complaint was that we didn't get that closure at the end, and when that was given to me, I was like, perfect, amazing, 4.5. It didn't give me the 5-star feeling, and I have a hard time having that 5-star feeling with a horror book. I think it's because I am wanting twists like from a thriller, and that is just not what a horror book is. It's made to scare you, and Horror Store was certainly disturbing, and the imagery was really well done, but I don't know if it necessarily scared me. It's really hard to scare me. I don't think I've ever read a horror book that I was genuinely scared by other than Pretty Girls, and that's like more of a thriller. So yeah, finished Horror Store. It was wonderful. I highly recommend it. I give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then after the live, I ended up staying up a little bit more and put these nails on, which I don't know how I feel about them. I'm very like that emoji. Like, that is me right now. I'll put it in here if you don't know what I'm talking about. But I ended up, while I was waiting for my nails to set and my fake tan to set, I ended up getting 50 pages into Brother, and this is crazy. I mean, it gets right into the murder. It is very much Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. It's actually reminding me of a true crime case as well. There's a case from the 1920s called the Chicken Coop Murders, and I will link a video. One of my favorite true crime YouTubers talked about it recently. I will link that video below, because if you like true crime, that is a crazy case that's not very well known, and I think more people should be talking about it. Even though it happened so long ago, it is just like an insane miscarriage of justice was done. But anyway, this book is really reminding me of that case, and it's giving major like old time, what are you eating? Please don't eat plastic. And it's serving major like Southern horror vibes, like,
go get him, he ran out the shack, gotta chase him down and hit him with the axe.
like that kind of thing. Oh my god, the dogs, the chaos. I don't even know what I'm saying right now this morning, but yeah, that is what I'm getting from this book. We're kind of in the middle of the action, and we're learning about this fucked up family who is committing murders, but we don't necessarily know why they are doing this. We're following the youngest son in the family named Michael, who really doesn't like to participate in the murders that the rest of his family commits, but he does have a part in it. And I feel like I don't want to give away too much, because I feel like you just need to read it yourself, and a lot of the horror comes from like being so shocked at the acts that this family commits together. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot, it's a whirlwind, it's a lot to take in right now, but I am liking it so far. It is very intense, very graphic, very scary. So if that is something that you're looking for in a book, it's looking like this is going to be a good one. I don't know when the next time I'll be able to read is though, because my best friend Ryan is actually coming into town right now. She's going to be here in like an hour or so, and we have like a whole birthday weekend planned for her. It's why her little gifty gift is back there that I got her yesterday. And yeah, maybe you'll see some B-roll of the weekend, but who knows? I could read in the next couple days, like after I come back from going out, which who knows? Sometimes I like to do that because I'm a mother and I like to take care of the pukers and read as I make sure nobody chokes on their vomit in the middle of the night. So maybe I will do that and I'll have an update for you this weekend, or maybe you'll just see a bunch of B-roll from the weekend and I will update you on Monday. But either way, I guess you'll find out in the next clip. See you later. Hey vlog, it is Saturday morning. I'm getting ready and I did not read anything, so I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Update, it's Sunday morning, it's a rainy day, and I cannot stop reading this book. Literally not even to update. I only have 100 pages left. I literally am addicted to reading this book. It is so good. It is super dark. It's crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish it and I will tell you my final thoughts afterwards. In other news, Boba is adorable.
The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths.
Hello guys, it is just a lazy Sunday for us. I did end up finishing Brother. I literally just laid on the couch for like half the day and read this because I needed to decompress after the weekend. It was very stressful and I'm like dreading going to work tomorrow. I have so much to do, but whatever. I just needed a mental health day to kind of collect myself. So I ended up finishing this book and then we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre and it was really fun. And now we're gonna watch the movie that this book is actually based on. So at the end, in the like acknowledgements, Anya Alborn actually said, I'll read verbatim. She said, "Thank you to the incredible cast of the 2012 film Chained. A lot of people will read this book and think Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but that's actually inaccurate. It was Chained that inspired me to write this book, and I hope that my mentioning it here will give your fabulous film a little extra exposure." So we're going to watch that movie because I absolutely loved this book and I know I haven't given you guys any thoughts. Let me just go ahead and do that right now. I'm looking crusty. Just go ahead and ignore it. The lighting's bad. It's storming. You know what? It's a horror vibe. We're gonna go with it. I'm giving this book 5 stars. I don't want to tell you anything about the plot because I think you need to go into it blind and kind of figure it out along the way. It's one of those books where you kind of see the twists or the plot points coming, but it's that tense feeling of like, oh my God, is that actually happening? Oh my God, I think that's happening, but is it actually? And when it gets revealed, it's just like the most, well, I don't want to say the most satisfying because it's horrifying, but it's also very satisfying that you like got the tension relieved finally. This was one of the most suspenseful and psychologically thrilling books I have ever read. However, there are a ton of trigger warnings. I gave this 5 stars because I really enjoy graphic, violent content. I don't know what that says about me, but be forewarned. If you are offended or you can't deal with animal cruelty, violence, incest, anything of that nature, murder, rape, anything like that, please do not read this book. Go for something lighter. This was really intense even for me, and I read a lot of graphic horror. So if you're into graphic horror, I think you will definitely like this, because like I said earlier in this video, it's hard for me to be frightened by a book, and this definitely did it for me. It was extremely thrilling, and it definitely gave me those scary, heart-pumping, adrenaline-fueled feelings. And I almost never get that from a horror movie or a horror book at this point in my life, because I've just consumed so much horror content. This did it. I literally, when I went and did my review on Storygraph and I rated it 5 stars, I added every single one of Anya Alborn's other horror books to my TBR. Also, while I was kind of doing some research, I found out that she is an indie published horror author. So here's an opportunity to support an indie author. And I really encourage you guys, if you can handle it, to pick this book up, because it was amazing. And I'm so excited to get into more of her books. So we are gonna go ahead and watch Chained, and I will kind of give you guys a mini review after we watch the movie, and then we can get into the final book of this vlog, which is gonna be The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. And before we start the movie, we're gonna make some Costco salmon. Does this not look phenomenal? Hello, butter, like go off. And then in the oven right now to go with it, we have some nice little broccolis. So that's what we have going. We're gonna eat, watch the movie, and I'll give you guys an update. Good morning, guys. It is the next day. It is Monday morning, bright and early. I just got back from my dentist appointment to pick up my retainers. What's up, Invisalign life? So I'm back and I'm ready to update you on some stuff that happened last night, a movie review, and a book review. Here we go. So we watched Chained last night, which was the movie that Brother is based on. And y'all, if you can find this movie, I found it on Amazon Prime. If you can watch this movie and you can handle like graphic, intense horror movies, please watch it. Please watch it. It is crazy. It is criminally underrated. I don't know how I haven't heard of this movie until now. And I'm so glad that Anya Alborn put that little message in the acknowledgements to kind of give that movie and her inspiration some hype. Now, I wouldn't say that the movie and the book were like direct copies of each other, because the movie takes place in present day and centers around a guy who kidnaps a boy and trains him like a serial killer in training. And obviously Brother is a similar plot line, but it's more like a family kidnapping a boy and training him to kind of clean up after their kills. And the book also takes place in the 70s. So Brother really is like a mix of Chained, this movie, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just smashing them together and making the craziest, most graphic, intimidating book, honestly, ever. Like, it genuinely scared me. Like, last night I was walking around my house like, turning off the lights before bed. It was genuinely scary, and I never get scared by movies, books, anything like that anymore. So that lets me know that it is worth the hype for sure. And then after we watched the movie, my friend Bailey came by. She's actually the best woman at our wedding. She's Cameron's best woman, and she is just our really great friend. I love her so much, and I just felt like I needed like a girl chat. We had a little talk, and it was so wonderful to see her. And she also brought me my birthday present early, which was so sweet of her, because I'm not gonna see her on my actual birthday. And of course, she got me something bookish. So I'm gonna show you guys what she got me. First of all, she made the wrapping paper sushi themed. She literally drew that. Can you believe? The most thoughtful, I'm gonna cry. And then she also made me a little card with calligraphy. Can you believe? And the gift, the actual gift, is S by J.J. Abrams, which is Ship of Theseus by V.M. Straka, with all of the commentary from J.J. Abrams as they try to figure out, using context clues from the book, who the author is. Like, who is this like anonymous pen name of V.M. Straka. So it's supposed to be like a book within a book and a mystery within a mystery. And me and Bailey and then our other friend, we're all gonna buddy read it together. It's kind of like a House of Leaves situation. So it's gonna be really involved and a really great discussion. Let me know if you would want me to vlog my experience reading this. And guys, she also made me a literal reading guide, like with all the different things to look out for. The book has like a ton of inserts and like cool little things like within the pages, so it makes it like a real mystery. And like there's a napkin with stuff written down in here. There's like legal papers, like somebody just made a note and ripped it out and put it in the book. So she like made me a guide of everything, so I'm not confused as I'm reading along, because she knew I would probably be intimidated by this book, which I am, but I'm so excited to read it with her and our other friend, and I just thought it was the sweetest gift ever. So that's what happened last night. Also, last night I started The Patient by Jasper DeWitt, and I actually ended up getting halfway through the book. I just could not put it down. It is so good. If you like The Silent Patient, you will love this book. Also, I realized I never told you guys what The Patient is about. It is very similar to The Silent Patient, where there's this young doctor who starts out at this mental hospital, and there's an impossible patient there that like nobody has been able to treat, nobody has been able to work with, and he starts out saying, you know what? I'm gonna be the person to cure them. I'm gonna be the person to do the therapy with this guy who has never cooperated with therapy before. Every single one of his past therapists have either committed suicide or quit very soon after starting working with him. I think like 6 or 7 people that worked with this patient have committed suicide. So it's kind of our main character's journey, trying to treat him, also getting to know this patient as a person, and like why all of his previous clinicians have found it so stressful to work with him that they literally killed themselves. It's really creepy. The way that it's written is like such an effective style of horror, where it's almost as if it's like real. Like they're written in like almost Reddit posts, and before the actual book starts, it says like, the following manuscript was posted in several installments under the thread "Why I Almost Quit Medicine," and it's like kind of like a found footage horror movie, but like found archived Reddit post in a book. So it makes it more like real life and creepy, and it is so good so far. Y'all, we have had hits in this video, and I mean hits, like 2 4.5 stars, a 5-star, and this book is going really well as well. So I'm so happy all these hyped horror books are living up to the hype, and I have to go on with my day. I have class until 4:30, but hopefully I will have little moments in between where I can get some reading done and do some self-care in between all the things I have to do today. And I guess I will update you when I'm done with The Patient and we can close out this vlog. Hello guys, it is Tuesday morning. Isn't that a store? Tuesday morning. Anyway, I'm about to start my sessions for the day, but really quickly before I do that, I wanted to wrap up this vlog because last night I finished The Patient by Jasper DeWitt, and I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. Can you believe it, guys? We literally did not have a book rated under 4.5 stars in this entire vlog. I think that's pretty impressive, and I really want to encourage you guys to pick up all of these books if you like horror, because they were all amazing. But let me tell you a little bit more about The Patient specifically. So around the like 60-70% mark, I got scared. Not like thrilling scared, but like I was a little scared that I wasn't gonna like this book, because some of the discussions around mental health just didn't line up with what I believe as a therapist myself. Got a little sketchy. I was thinking like, wow, if I had to work with these psychiatrists or these therapists in this book, I would be so put off by their ideas of how they're conceptualizing this patient. It was just a lot of stigmatizing and harmful language around sexual abuse and dissociative identity disorder, which those two things do have a link scientifically. If a child goes through trauma, specifically physical or sexual abuse, the likelihood for developing dissociative identity disorder goes up, because the child dissociates during the trauma and creates other personalities or alters that keep them safe. But spoiler alert, that is not what is going on here. That was just kind of a discussion that was introduced. So I really like that they didn't go in that direction and kind of blame the mental illness for being the scary part of this horror book. But yeah, basically it saved itself by dismantling that theory and replacing it with something else. And the actual explanation of the horror, I loved. I thought it was awesome. I loved the ending, the way that it just like played on like real world fears that you might have during childhood and like reintroducing those as an adult. I don't know, it was giving me all the vibes of like the Babadook, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, like horror movies like that involve children and like those childhood nightmarish fears. And I ended up really liking the ending, but because I kind of got taken out of the story there in the like third act, I am gonna take off a half a star just for that. I don't know, I don't think that theory was even needed, although it was being, you know, kind of shown in a negative light, which I appreciated. I don't think that DID needed to be brought into it. I think DID gets enough stigma as it is through books and movies. So that was the only negative that I had. Everything else was amazing, especially the imagery and the ending. Those were my two favorite parts of this book. So with that, this is the end of my hyped horror book vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.